Hi guys, it's Dewey here, and today we're talking about something that isn't really that comfortable to talk about, and that is failure. Nobody likes to fail. And trust me, I have had my fair share of failing in my lifetime. And one of the things that I say to my students often is I have one rule, and that is you need to be willing to make mistakes. Okay? Because as you all know, learning a language is challenging. And when that language is your second or third or fourth or whatever language it might be in your list of languages, you are probably going to be making a lot of mistakes. And that can be very, very humbling. But the upside of that is that failure or the discomfort of not speaking the language perfectly, which, to be honest, native English speakers don't speak the language perfectly. That's just part of being human. We are not perfect, and so we're going to make mistakes. But I understand that when it's your second or third or fourth language, it feels very nerve-wracking, as we would say, to not be able to express yourself the way you want to, or maybe it feels like you sound like a little kid sometimes. I know exactly what that feels like because my parents are from Argentina, but they were immigrants to North America. And so the focus became speaking English, learning English. That was the main focus. I grew up basically mostly, even though Spanish was my first language, English quickly became my primary language. So as you can see, I do not have an accent because English has been the primary language that I've spoken. The flip side of that is that when I try to speak Spanish, I have a very thick accent, and it feels awkward, to say the least, because my mouth is not forming things, my brain is not working as quickly to articulate what I'm trying to say. So I completely understand. However, failure is actually partly our friend, because with this whole process of having to grow in our fluency and making mistakes, we are building a sense of resiliency. Failures cause us to improve. When I think about some of the people that are now very well known, famous people, many of them had many failures long before they reached a certain goal in their lives. I think of Abraham Lincoln and all the times that he failed before he came into presidency. I think of so many entrepreneurs and people who have made a lot of money. They became millionaires. They even went bankrupt. They lost their money, but they became resilient and they overcame things. And that is part of life. And that is also a part of your English learning journey. I just really want to encourage you today. That whole process of making mistakes, not being maybe quite where you want to be, that really doesn't need to stop you from reaching your goals. You do not need to have perfect grammar when you are pursuing certain life goals and opportunities. I understand that there are some professions that will require that you have excellent English. If you're going to be an editor or something that requires your English to be superb. But here's something that I have found. When you have a dream in your heart, what is really going to help you grow and get closer to those dreams, despite what other people say and despite what your fears might be telling you, what you think about is really going to play a big part in growing your English fluency. I recently heard one of my students say that it's all about breaking through that nervous barrier. That is so true when it comes to the English language or any language. You just have to push past that nervous feeling, that anxious feeling, and a lot of it, like I said, it goes back to your thinking. It goes back to your belief systems. And I know how challenging it can be because that's the same journey that I have been on. I have to battle thoughts in my mind all the time about my limitations or the things that I want to do in life, the goals and the dreams that I have. I want to leave you with this thought. Failure is not your enemy. Take failure and use it to push you further towards your goals. Use it to practice more on a daily basis, to find ways of speaking English with other people. So that is something that I really am passionate about in helping my students. I want to help you as much as I can to push past, to grow through these growing pains, and to encourage you to speak, make mistakes, fail. It is going to help you because if you don't push through that, you will not speak and you will not grow. And that is not what you want. You want to grow your fluency so that you can step out and go after your goals, go after your dreams, go after these international opportunities. Just remember, failure is not your enemy. Use it to push yourself further towards your goals. Use it to remind yourself that there have been many people that have gone on before you that have had to push through the very same thing. You are no different than they are. You can do this. I know that you can, and that's why I'm here. That's part of my passion, is encouraging people and giving them keys to more confident English. Let me know in the comments, what are some things that you have had to overcome? What are some things that maybe you're facing? I just encourage you to share, and I encourage you to let us know how you've overcome things, or what are some of those things that you're struggling with, and maybe we could share with each other some of our thoughts as to how we can use failure to push us further and reach our goals. Talk to you soon.